What's up, y'all? I'm gonna tell y'all about the growth of the line dancing group cruise, how it all got started. A lot of you event hosts and future event hosts might can use something from this. You might can uh, gather some motivation from this. Um, if you a host event, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on here. Give me a thumbs up emoji, or say I am or something. Or if you want to host an event, or you going to host one. But good morning. What's up, Randy? But yeah, I want to tell you guys about how this thing started from the beginning. The evolution of it, how it happened, and like I said, hopefully it's to motivate a lot of you guys to keep trucking and do what y'all do. Can you hear me good? What's up, Kim? What's up, Tanya? I'm thirsty. I'm just getting up for real. All right, so the Line Dancing Groove Cruise. So as you know, my mother is a travel agent. And I'm a line dance instructor. And so she came to me and said, what do you think about hosting a line dancing cruise? Because backstory, I've already been a part of events that she had group events that she have done on cruises, and I taught line dancing instructing classes on the cruise ships probably like 6 or 7 times. So, but it was like instant, small little isolated class, like one class the whole cruise, for an hour and a half, something like that. But sort of like the Carnival does now, they might host like a salsa class or something like that. So I was doing that already. But she came to me and said, would you want to do, a line dance cruise? And I said yes, but I knew that me myself I didn't travel that much with line dancing. So for me to draw an audience is going to be tough because I wasn't known throughout the country like that. I had a couple of YouTube videos out, little small buzz on Facebook, but nothing major. So I came up with the idea. I was like, well, maybe we need to get some names of people that are bigger in line dancing to, get the event, jumping though. So I did some research looking at the social media and seeing who the hardest working, the biggest names, trying to figure out the direction I wanted to go, the personalities of people, and so I reached out to 2 individuals. One was a recording artist who I'm not going to say his name. And the other was I thought was a pretty big name instructor. And I reached out to them. Ended up getting them on a conference call. It was all of us on the phone, and they were like super ecstatic about the idea. They were all in, and and so we started working on flyers and concepts and the ideas. A week later, after that conference call, they both individually hit me up and decline and say, they can't do it. They come up with some excuses why they can't do it. And I'm like, dang, man, we had something good getting ready to go. It's about to be the first one. I got these two, you know, awesome people helping out. I look up to these people, they back out. Fast forward about 2 weeks later, I see a flyer on Facebook with a line dance cruise hosted by those two people that I reached out to. The two people that I gave the idea to be a part of my event, they backed out of my event to host their own event. And I'm gonna have a moment of honesty right now. I was crushed. I was hurt, and I felt like it was nothing I could do because like they were bigger names than me. Like, and that's the vulnerable moment when you give somebody your idea or tell them you want to be a part of it. They could easily run off with your idea, and it's almost 7 years ago. Well, we ain't started yet, so it probably was like 8 years ago for real. And so I was super young in the game, and so I'm like, I'm still in my 20s at this time. So I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I felt like there was nothing I could do. They about to have this successful cruise with me and my mother's idea, and it was nothing that we could do about it. You know what I'm saying? But God, but God. So supposedly the travel agent they had and the promoter they had was kind of janky, and the cruise ended up falling out. It wasn't successful. It didn't even happen. So I ended up reaching out to another recording artist, which you guys know as Big Moochie, and I got him on board. And I reached out to Robert Johnson Jr. So I had a line dance instructor, and I had a line dance, music artist. So the first cruise ended up being with Big Moochie. Now, let's rewind this a little bit. That ended up being the actual first cruise lineup. Me, Moochie, and Robert Johnson Jr. But from the time it took to get there was a rough road. From getting denied by the first people that I reached out to, stole my idea and ran off. I then got mad because I was upset. It was my first time reaching the people outside of my community. Trying to get a national event, and it didn't work out, and so it was a bad taste in my mouth. So what I did was I reached out to all my local instructors, all the instructors that taught here locally in my city. So, and I thought that was gonna be easy, like shoot. I'll just do a Richmond jump, you know what I'm saying, for real. Nobody was on board. So I ended up going outside. I had to go outside my community again to find assistance. And I reached out to several local line dance instructors who really wasn't interested at the time. And a lot of people don't like to be a part of something for a first time. If it sounds too far-fetched, they say if the dream too small, it ain't big enough. If your dream ain't scaring you, that's what it is. If your dream ain't scary, it ain't big enough. And so a lot of people don't, And so you got to understand this process. Reached out to a recording artist, the big name instructor. They was all on board. A week later, they called me and said they wouldn't want to be a part of it. They couldn't do it. 2 weeks later, see a flyer on Facebook. What's up, Carla? Saying that they were doing their own cruise. So they stole my idea. And I was kind of like, dang, nothing I could do. Then I reached out to everybody in my area to be a part of my event. Nothing. And so then I went back out to the national community again. Got Big Moochie, and then we ended up with Robert Johnson Jr. And this is the first annual line dancing groove cruise. That one was a 3-day cruise. We started off small. We did a 3-day cruise out of Miami. And we went to the Bahamas. This one stayed overnight in the Bahamas, so that was pretty cool. Um, and we had, I think, 88 people, and I see a lot of people, man. Y'all do events, and y'all get like 100 people, and you know, and y'all go live after the event, saying, you know, it was cool, but you know, you might not want to do it again. A lot of y'all like little pop up stuff that you wanted to be an annual event, but because the numbers weren't what you wanted when you did it the first time, that you don't pursue it no more. Um, but you know, everything takes growth, you know, and our first event we had 88 people, and if you talk to anybody that was on that joint, all 88 people, we had a ball. We had a phenomenal time on that joint. It was only 3 days. There was no host hotel. We just, I mean, people flew in a day earlier, but we didn't have no events, none of that stuff. It was like 3-day cruise. Had a ball. Second year, you know, that's when the growth started happening. We added a couple more instructors on there. Great people. A couple of them on here, Carla and stuff. We started getting growth, and then that's when, you know, when I talk about growth with an event, growth isn't always just numbers. Growth is learning etiquette, learning hospitality, learning organization, and learning, you know, what you can manage and correct, Tom. Yeah, definitely. Definitely right. But that's what I talk about when I talk about growth. It's not just numbers, it's learning what you're working with. And that's why you shouldn't really try something one time. Because you didn't know everything you needed to know. You would never know everything, you know. We going on 7th annual, we still adding stuff and still taking stuff out and still learning and still molding it to make it a better, you know, a better event. Learning personalities. You got people from all over the country. It's a lot. So anyway, going from the first one to the second one, we had some names. I think that one was probably like 100 people or something. It wasn't that big of a difference as far as like the growth with numbers. But we had like a bigger instructor lineup. I think we had like 6 people. Then actually the second one, that one went to Mexico. And we left out of, I want to say New Orleans. Yes. The third one, we went back to, the third one, we left out of, I want to say, Miami. Went back to Miami again. Yeah, because that's when we did Grand Turk. Yeah, we had the pool party and stuff. Yeah, that was nice. I think I want to go back to Grand Turk. We did Grand Turk, Half Moon Key, stuff like it was nice. That was nice. I think that one we had like 250 people. That's when we really started seeing the growth in numbers. And we added more instructors. I think we had like 12 to 14 instructors then. The fourth one is when we went out of Alabama, Mobile, Alabama. And this is when we started doing like host hotel stuff. All right, we get a host hotel. We'll have an event. We're gonna start the line dancing before we get on the boat. This is the growth. This is the growth of people want to start experimenting these cities and seeing what's going on. And what you guys have to understand, the most unique part about our event is it would never be in Richmond where we live at. I live in Richmond, Virginia. So a lot of times people see our event for the first time and say, they automatically assume that we're from the city that we're leaving out of. You know, people thought we was from Miami. People thought we was from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? People thought, you know what I'm saying, we was from New Orleans. It's like, no. So when we setting this stuff up, it's a lot more work for us, a lot more footwork, because we can't just drive down the street to this hotel every day to set stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Or get things right, do things. You know what I'm saying? So then the fifth one was, we just did the sixth one. The fifth one is in Miami, and that's the one where we had the two hotels. We had the pool party, and we went to Jamaica. That was the one we had, I think we had 500 and some people there. So that's just pretty much where we at now as far as numbers, you know, and still elevating. But then this year we went to, we went this year. But we went this year. Our first cruise time was last year. It's a good time. Plan on attending every year. Thanks, Kiara. Yeah, it's time to go on about so fast. You know where we be going. Oh yeah, this year we went to Nassau. Jeez. We went to Bahamas. We did Nassau and one of them caves or something. We had the Bahamas for the most part. Same thing. Hotel, 2 days of events. And when you don't live somewhere, you deal with stuff. When we first went to go view that hotel, it wasn't under construction. And then they told us it was going to be under construction, but by the time our event came, that the construction would be complete. Y'all saw it. When we got there, the hotel construction was not complete. The rooms were, but the ballroom and stuff, they had the curtain up, and you know, that's the that's the downside of not living in a hotel, the host hotel city. Not knowing, trying to stay, you know, afloat what's going on. Communication. That's right, Princess K, that's what it was. Sean, thanks. And so I'm saying all this to say, many people that would have went through what we went through to get this cruise thing started from the first one would have backed out and quit it. I've already heard stories about stuff like this. And when me and my mom reached out to the first two people that we reached out to, I mean, we were like very ecstatic, very excited. And for them to back out, obviously they had their own little powwow. I was like, man, this guy came up with a great idea, him and his mom. So, but they nobodies. We're somebodies. We can go and start our own. And theirs fell through. And 6-7 years later, we still here. And look at what we have. You know, and so, you know, sometimes at night you sit back and cry stuff like this, man, because it show you how good God is. And like the saying is true. What's for you is definitely just for you. Ain't no way around it. What's for you is for you. There's no way around it. And you know, and actually it's so crazy because I have no hard feelings towards these people at all. Like I see them, it's what's up. You know, they had a moment of weakness, you know, and you know, and a lot of times, you know, greed can drive that stuff. And not just greed, money greed. Some people you can tell they got a high pursuit over like, you know, popularity, fame, or a high pursuit for money, but it's different greed. You know, you never know why somebody is like that. You know what I'm saying? But what's for you is for you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand, man. Like it's like being the most vulnerable with somebody, like being very vulnerable with somebody, like giving them your baby, like this is what we want to do, and they 2 weeks later, there's a flyer out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm like, there's nothing I can do. They big names. We done. Our idea is done. So, but God, you know, and I see a lot of y'all guys, y'all do an event one time and then, 4 or 5 years, that's time to do an event again. Like, I don't care what happened with your event. I don't care if 25 people showed up. I don't care if you put on the event and half the instructors backed out, the supposed to came. And then, listen, we got all them stories. We got all them stories. I can show y'all flyers, the original flyers that we came out with. We might have to take 5 names off that jump. You know what I'm saying? Because people back out, stuff like that. And, some people have stuff going on in their life. It's just what it is. Some people, they might not want to deal with you. That's just what it is. But, you can't let that stop you from doing what you want to do or chasing your dreams or something that you came up with and created and sat down and prayed on at night to make happen. You can't let that stop you. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm coming on here just to say that. You know what I'm saying? From what we went through from the very first cruise, not even the first cruise, because the first cruise was great. What we went through to make the first cruise happen. Backstabbing, around the back end and all that, whatever you want to call it, to where we are now. What's for you is for you. You know what I'm saying? And don't think, because certain people ain't a part of your event or, believe me, they ain't got nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. There are events going on over this country, not even line dancing, in general, like all over the world that's popping. Some people events be so big and they don't even promote nobody. It's just a name of the event. They don't even promote no artists, no nothing. And it be popping. You know what I'm saying? So don't think you have to have these names or certain people got to be a part of your event for it to be successful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I want to come on here and say. The story of our event, the growth of our event. And when I talk about growth, I gotta tell y'all gotta stop thinking about numbers. Numbers is cool. We want everybody to be a part of our event. But our event has grown so much, not because of numbers, it's grown because of our hospitality. We went from just being me and my mom doing everything from registration, sign in, to DJing the parties. Me and my mom was doing all that when we first started. To adding helpers. We went from having 3 helpers to last year this present year, this past August, we had 18 helpers. You know what I'm saying? From us saying on the first cruise, see y'all when we get on the boat, to this year we out front waiting for y'all when the buses pull up. You know what I'm saying? That's the growth I'm talking about. It's all kind of growth. And stuff you learn, stuff you go from year to year and say, I need to get better in this department. You sit there and have a powwow with your peoples, have a heart-to-heart, honest moment with yourself and say, these departments we can do better in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to sit down with my helpers and my team and be like, look, people is coming from all over the country to be a part of this event. I need y'all to be smiling. I need y'all to help people. If somebody need help, you help them. So you got to walk somebody somewhere, walk them there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about growth. And then the numbers will come. So all you people out there who having events and deciding that you don't want to do it no more, after your event come. And I know, Tanya, I think you got an event coming up. You know what I'm saying? When your event happen, I don't care what happened as far as like negativity, kickback, talking, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Have a powwow with you and your peoples. Figure out what departments you can do it better in. And then get ready to put a date out for next year. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You get ready to put a date out for next year. Because it's going to happen again. You know what I'm saying? And because if it's something you love and God sent, it's going to happen. What's for you is for you. It don't matter what nobody doing. It don't matter what nobody's saying. And I'm not saying don't take constructive criticism. I'm just saying the naysayers or the people that don't want to be a part of your event that you asked and reached out to and, you know, and prayed about and you thought that was the way, you know what I'm saying? You can pray to God for something. That don't mean you're going to get it. Because if he know that it ain't for you, they're not going to be a part of it. That's just how I go. That's just how I go. That's how I go. Listen to me. Listen to me. That's how I treat my line dance class. I used to have a couple line dance divas in the front, you know what I'm saying? Bullying people and all that stuff. I had to shut that down, and eventually they quit my class because I can't allow them to do what they want to do to affect the growth of my class. You know what I'm saying? So I can lose 4 or 5 people, but guess what? I'm going to get 4 or 5 new people to replace them. You know what I'm saying? So what's for you is for you, and you got, you know, it's great when negative people leave your space before it even get worse than what it was. You know what I'm saying? Who would have knew what would have happened if the people that I originally wanted to be a part of my event would have came? You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all of this stuff. Some of y'all just jumping in. Y'all go back and watch the beginning of the video. I basically talked about how we went from our first line dance cruise to where we at now. And, you know, we had people that backed out on us that we reached out to that tried to take our idea and start their own event, which fell through and they never did it. And next year we going for our 7th annual cruise. And God has been blessing us. And it's tough, you know what I'm saying? Me and my mom talk about it all the time. You know, we see stuff and I'd be like, Mom, chill. It's cool, you know what I'm saying? I'll clap, applaud, wish the best for everybody, anybody doing whatever they doing. But when you doing shady stuff, I don't have to address it. Because what's for you is for you. God don't play them games. He don't play them games. Yeah. So, I love y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Have a good one. And I'm out of here. I'm waiting to get this phone call so I go pick up this check from this lady. I just did her event a few weeks ago. You know, I'm a full-time DJ. The weekends is when I work. But I love you guys. Stay tuned for information about the cruise, about the drop. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page so we can get information to you. We're going to be sending links and stuff like that through email. And because Facebook is acting crazy, a lot of the posts we put out doesn't get to everybody. There's over 2,000 people in the group, I think, or 1,900 now. And in the Facebook Line Dancing Group Cruise page, like 1,900 people. And you look at the specs, it's only getting to like 200 or 300 people. So, you know, Facebook, you know, they want you to pay to promote stuff. So we, you know, way my pockets and way my account set up, I can't do that. So what we want you to do is subscribe to the Line Dance Prince YouTube page. And if you look at one of the videos, I think like two posts down, you'll see the link. Just go onto YouTube video and then hit subscribe on it. And then you'll get notifications every time we put out information about the cruise on the video. But I love y'all. Stay tuned. LA, we trying to do it big this time coming. And I will be dropping a new dance. Remember Meet Me in Miami? About to drop one called Meet Me in LA. Stay tuned. Love y'all.